We thought she was,
Resemble them a lot.
Where's the town
Very
clerk?
smart, very, very smart dogs.
Okay,
Well, most of them are.
okay,
my dog's out
okay.
of control. Here we go, another
At least
year.
it's warm in here.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you for
heating's all back
whoever.
on now. Well, thank you, Steve. Finally getting it done. Okay, Mr. Clerk, let's call the meeting to order. Call the,
Here.
Here,
Here. Here.
here, everyone please rise. Pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. And the first agenda item is the adoption of the agenda for tonight. Anybody have any other suggestions for it? I don't have any tonight. There's one or two items that we may want to table when we get to it.
Move to adopt. I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item is to acknowledge the minutes for the December 9th, 2019 meeting.
I'll move it.
Okay, and I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item for the public tonight is what we call our organizational meeting. This is a meeting where we go through a number of what are basically annual housekeeping items. And so we have a different, process and procedure for this evening, but we do have a lot of resolutions that are of interest. I think they govern the management of the town, and activities of the town board, relating to the rules of the town. So that's what's involved tonight. We'll have, the more substantive in the sense of non-customary standard resolutions throughout the rest of the year. Also, just as a reminder, our second meeting of the year, which will be actually our first regular meeting, will be held next Monday night, the 13th, by our town rules. That is a workshop meeting, and so we will be having various department, members coming in and presenting the past year and then going forward, just for the benefit of people that are watching, and also Mr. Casella, who's new to the board, so you know that. Okay, so the first item on our resolutions is, in fact, approving the rules of the town board. There's no changes to it. This is Resolution 2020-1, resolution adopting the rules of the town board.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-2, resolution designating the time and place for holding board meetings. And this is generally the second and fourth Monday of the month, but you will note that I have put in here, based on the previous year, the time differences, or a couple of the months where we don't have meetings because of the holiday season.
can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
That we put out a calendar similar to what the planning board and the
Yes.
zoning board puts out, and put it on our website,
Sure.
please? So the residents are aware of it, and they would be aware of any changes.
We'll do that. We'll
So can we
post
do
that.
that, please?
Yes.
And also send an email to us.
Yes, we'll do that. Okay.
Thank you.
With that comment, any
Can we change?
other changes? Any questions?
You guys all right?
Good.
Okay.
It's a movement.
Okay, moved,
Second.
second. All in favor? Aye. Any
Thank
nays
you.
or abstentions? The motion passes. And I think, Joey, if you would just make a note of that, and then we'll get that calendar officially put up, since we have the master of that already. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next item, of business is the resolution, let's see, making sure that it's 2020-3, just want to get the number. That's the resolution authorizing the use of a mechanical check signing device, and this names the town supervisor, town clerk, and deputy supervisor.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-4. This is a resolution designating the official newspapers, actually, for the town of Wappinger. That's the Southern Dutchess News and the Poughkeepsie Journal, as in the past.
Move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-5. This is a resolution designating various banks as the official depositories for the town of Wappinger. This list of banks is the same list that we have. Mr. Casella, you had mentioned you have a comment.
Yes, I have a comment on it. So there's a $5 million limit that we can have for each one of the banks. I suggested Frederick take a look at that, and on the Monday review, take a look at that, because I think we have one bank where there's a little more than $5 million, and we may want to move some money around. So I'll defer that to the subject.
Right.
Talk to Frederick on Monday.
And that was, part of the plan for him to
Okay.
review it based on given the financial update and review, and also
Just
he's,
want to make sure we're FDIC
Absolutely.
insured up to a certain
I agree
time,
with-
so that we don't have too much money in there that, God forbid, something.
I
happens to
agree
the
with you
bank.
fully. Thank you. Thank you for raising that.
Sure.
The next item is 20, oh, there wasn't a motion? Okay, there's a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes.
So let's restate. I'll move it.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? And the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-6. This is a resolution establishing the amount of undertakings to be furnished by officers, clerks, and employees of the town of Wappinger. This is standard language as
Move.
we've approved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes.
Just for the public's record, what the undertaking this resolution does is the town has insurance for all of the officials that are noted in here.
Right.
So the default provision is, from the olden days, each individual would have to actually post a bond, but in recent years, the law was amended to permit blanket insurance.
Like an
which is
umbrella
what-
kind of thing, right?
Which is what the town has.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, upon review, and the board may recall, we did, pass a resolution where we increased the insurance coverage, for that, particularly in windows areas that are handling monies.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that insurance is still in full force and effect. I think in the corporate world, we know it as D&O
Yeah.
coverage, right? Okay, the next item is Resolution 2020-7. This is a resolution establishing petty cash funds for various offices.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? The motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-8. This is a resolution authorizing the submission of the supervisor's annual report to the state controller. This is something we do every year at this time. That's not yet completed, but will need to be filed, I think, within the next
I believe that,
third.
I believe it has to be filed no later than May. This is
Yeah.
what's referred to as the ORD, or the annual update
Yeah, I think
document.
Frederick said the end of April. has to be
April,
done.
something like that.
Right.
But we'll be, I'll
Well, it has to
review
be fi- May
it. You all
1st, I
get a
think,
copies to see it before we do
I'll
it.
move it.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passed. The next resolution is 2020-9, a resolution to authorize the town supervisor, town highway superintendent, and town board to execute the agreement for the expenditure of highway monies. This is what we refer to as Section 284. We don't yet have the agreement done, and therefore I would suggest that we just table this motion unless Bill, from past practice, I think we've delayed it as well.
I think this resolution can be approved ahead of the
Okay.
actual 284, correct?
Now, you need to have the.
All right, so,
284 done.
okay.
I mean, so.
We should have it in front of us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and so the 284 agreement, every year we have kind of a back and forth as to which roads will be paved and lengths and things like that. So the amounts that are listed in this resolution are based on what's budgeted, but, depending on
Right.
how much is left over in any bonds that were previously outstanding and things like that. So, plus, I know we had done an inventory in the past. The
Right.
town engineer, had made some estimates. So, as the town is an award system, typically we try to spread the paving
Sure.
work out, through the various wards. So,
So I'll move to table.
I'll
Second.
second it. I'm sorry, Angela.
That's okay.
And I just mentioned, I've asked the highway superintendent to get to us sooner than later.
Right, sure.
The list, so he said that he's working on it. And then maybe next week in the workshop might have some preliminary idea based on that. So we have a motion second, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-10. This is a resolution authorizing attendance at the 2020 Association of Towns Annual Meeting. Mr. Han has brought to our attention that the different county legislators are not eligible for that because they're not town employees. Is that correct, Mr. Han?
Yes, so, I mean, they're certainly welcome to attend on their own, or if the
On their own
county
dime.
wishes to pay for them, but the town can only use town funds for town employees and town officers.
Thanks, Jim.
So I'll move to amend.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
do we have a list of folks that are gonna attend yet? I know that Sandra's collecting.
Sandra's been collecting it. I don't know if she has a finalized
Is
list.
there a certain number that are allowed to attend based on the funding that we have? Do we know if it's like 10 people, 15 people?
The past,
Well, I
the
don't
past
think
has
so.
been based on the funding available, and we've been within those parameters.
Okay.
So, we used to debate this back and forth years ago, and we were always within the budget. So, we haven't had an issue recently. So, the way that it's been altered now, it gives basically each entity the ability to send members, the town board, the town clerk's office, planning board, zoning administrator, planning and ZBA secretary, and the list goes on here. And generally speaking, everyone can't go anyway.
Right.
But we want to make sure we're giving them the educational opportunity, and I think this has worked out, this approach has worked out best. So I will move this with the amendment to strike the county legislators as per the discussion.
I'll second it.
Second.
Yes, I was gonna come to that, next. I think in the past, we've had like, Mr. Cosmet, so board member, be a delegate, and then we'll also have alternate, so we do need to do that right now.
So, it doesn't matter to me, I have done it the most. I think it's a good opportunity for individuals that haven't done this to be the delegate. If you're the alternate delegate, you also have the ability to get into the room and kind of be part of the process, you just have to sit behind the rope. But I would yield to any other member that would be interested in doing that.
I did it last year. I was an alternate, so I would
Oh,
defer to you two if you'd like to do it.
Sure, I'll do it.
So you want to be the actual delegate? And Al, do you
I'll
want?
be the alternate, that'll.
Okay.
Okay,
So
Okay.
let me just
Okay.
amend my amended resolution. So I'm gonna move that we amend the resolution to remove the county legislator terminology, and that we designate the alternate to be Councilman Phillips, and the the delegate to be Councilman Phillips, and the alternate to be Councilman Casella.
Thank you.
Second.
okay, we have motion second, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim, for getting us
Thank
the
you.
information.
The next item is Resolution 2020-11. This is a resolution establishing paid holidays. This is for the year 2020, and you have the list in front of you in the resolution. The members of Town Hall staff have chosen is that the floating day, which they choose, is Thanksgiving Day Friday. So that is November 27th. However, I understand that the Highway Department has actually chosen the
Christmas Eve.
4th of July, the 3rd, I believe, is, not, was
The
it
day
20?
before,
Yeah,
maybe?
day before was
So-
what it was.
Either way, it's 14 holidays per
Right.
bargaining unit, so it doesn't matter, and I will move this.
A second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. Next item is the Resolution 2020-12. This is a resolution to adjust the town of Wappinger mileage reimbursement rates for 2020. This is based on the IRS, numbers.
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-13. This is a resolution establishing the pay scale for the part-time patrol, town patrol personnel. This is for our actually intermediary, this is for Sergeant Stewart, Neil Stewart, and he's advised me that the amount is the same as it was before to be filled in. That's $5,600. And this is what we've done in the past.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-14. This is a resolution establishing the salaries for elected officials in the town of Wappinger. This is basically what we've already agreed to and has been submitted previously, so there's no change to that in the budget and the declaration that we made previously.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-15. This is a resolution establishing pay scale for seasonal recreation department employees in the town of Wappinger. Jessica has made, I think, some changes from the past, and please address the board if you would.
Some of the changes are purely based off of minimum wage going up, and then the people that slide up because they have a higher position, working right above minimum wage. And then 2 increases, one for our aerobics instructor and one for our assistant gymnastics instructor, who both have been with us for decades.
Do you know what the increase was for the aerobics from what to what? So it's $50 per session. What was it before?
It was 40.
Okay.
It was 40.
And what was the other increase you had?
The other increase was the assistant gymnastics director,
Okay.
whose raise apparent, it was brought to my attention, was overlooked for a couple of years. She was at $12.50 and now is at $16,
Where's minimum wage now?
$11.80
Okay.
coming into, well, as of a week ago.
All right, I have no objection. I mean, we're
I
trying to stay ahead of the minimum wage thing. We're trying to be fair. People that have been making the same amount are seeing subordinates get bumps, so I have no objection to making these adjustments.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay.
So I'll move it, yeah.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-16. This is a resolution establishing remuneration for water meter readers in the town of Wappinger. What I've done is changed from last year and previous resolutions in consultation with Leanne. And basically, in the past, our water meter readers were getting the same rate for all meters, which was $1.30 per annum. But since we've gone increasingly more to wireless, radio meter, I didn't believe that it was necessary to pay the full $1.30. So what we've done, what Leanne has recommended, so it's $1.30 per manual meter, and then 65 cents for the radio meter reads. What we didn't have in the past, and apparently there was some question as far as the process, which this is to address, we've also added for maintenance of the meters, the $13 actually apparently was being received, and then whether or not it was paid or how it was paid is a question. So clarify that, he's had to repair meters, that are either going the wrong direction or what have you, and so what the recommendation of Leanne is that we do $13 per hour for those cases of the meters that need to be repaired.
To this, I have just quick question. We were doing that quick changeover and it stopped. Is that company still
So
in contract?
No, Camo picked up the slack on what we had. Leanne will address that next Monday,
Okay.
Among other things at our workshop meeting.
I'll move it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. The next item, we get into some of the recreation activities and approving dates, which we've done in the past. The main one, which we don't yet have in here, that Jessica will be addressing next Monday, relates to Community Day. The rest of them, though, are ones that we have routinely done and basically around the same dates, as in the past. So this is Resolution 2020-17, resolution authorizing use of Martz Field for the town of Wappinger Easter egg hunt on Saturday. I see Saturdays listed twice. Let's amend that to take out one of those, April 4th, 2020, with a rain date of April 5th, 2020. Correct?
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes.
I know these are all templates, but if we can just make sure moving forward that we have Parks and Recreation as the department name, and, because these are obviously from previous years, so you're just just make sure we get that straight.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna call it a typo, I'm not doing amendments.
Yeah.
You mean the double Saturdays?
No. Instead of calling it Department of, Recreation or Recreation Department, the actual title that we've designated is Parks and Recreation. right, Jessica?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Just keep it consistent, that's all.
All right, do you want me to fill in the blank on that one?
Yes, fill in the blank, please.
So the blank on that one would be $2,500.
Okay, which line is that?
In each of the resolutions down towards the bottom.
Okay.
There's a blank for amount to be spent.
So I see only that on number 19.
Yeah, number
That's
19.
all I see too.
So resolution number 17 and 18 each have a number in there.
Yeah,
17's 1,000, 18 is
3,500.
3,500, which we
3,500.
need to act on that one first before we
Right.
get to the blank.
So is that a correct number, the 3,500, Jessica?
The 3,500 for Memorial Day is a correct number. The 1,000 for the Easter egg hunt, that's an old number. It's
Okay.
2,500.
2,500, so we need to come back to amend that,
Please,
so.
please.
All right, so I will move to amend 2020-17, if that's okay.
To 2,500.
No, to 2,000.
So we just want to make sure, since it's a dollar amount, that we amend the resolution to be $2,500 rather than 1,000.
I thought you said it was 2,000.
2,500.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that, sorry, thank you.
So I'll move to amend it.
I'll second that amendment.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-18. This is a resolution authorizing the use of Schlott House Park for the Town of Wappinger Memorial Day ceremony.
I'll move it. 3,500 is correct.
That's correct, okay.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passes. The next item is 2020-19. This is a resolution authorizing the use of Schlott House Park for the Town of Wappinger Halloween Parade. And this is what, 2,500?
That one's only 1,000.
Okay, only 1,000, okay.
And that's what we did in 2019?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'll move it with the $1,000 inserted into it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-20, a resolution authorizing use of Town Hall for the Town of Wappinger Veterans Day ceremony. There's no dollar amount associated with that?
So can we talk about this for a second?
Yes.
So we have been lucky enough, I don't know how you folks have done this, to get that pizza for the last 2 years
Yes.
for Veterans Day. I mean, should we be paying for this, or is someone paying for it, or,
It is done out of the kindness of their heart.
I think
But-
that this year might. we
But I
might
think it
wanna-
would be good because we've gotten other donations, you know,
Okay.
from those organizations, so I think it would be nice probably to have one, you
We
know.
should probably pay for some,
yeah,
for the food this year.
For some of it, yeah.
How much do you think it is for the pizzas?
I would say we put in a $300 amount, and
So-
then if he wants to do any
Say-
donation.
So
above
$500?
that.
Yeah, say
Yeah, make it
500.
All right, so let's, I just don't want to inadvertently create
Right.
an obligation
Agreed.
on them, because they've been going out of the way.
So good.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I'll
Yeah.
move that we add
Let's
$500
make sure we
to
have,
this
yeah, I
resolution.
agree with you, and let's
Have
make
enough
sure we
money.
have a new flag up there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So we'll put $500 on this. There's already money in the recreation lines. We'll figure it out, but I just want to make sure we're not, you know, expecting a
Yeah.
donation.
I think it's a good point.
I agree.
Thank
I'll
you.
second that.
thank you.
The
Okay.
500.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passes. Thank you. Next item is Resolution 2020-21, resolution authorizing the use of Schlott House Park for the Town of Wappinger tree lighting ceremony. You have $1,500 in here, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-22. This is a resolution employing bond counsel services for calendar year 2020.
I think it's in our best interest to adopt this tonight, and Doug Goodfriend is our trusted bond counsel. I'll move that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is resolution employing stormwater management consultant services for calendar year 2020. This is Walter Artis, who has actually cut back, you know, some of his services like LaGrange and so forth, but still focused on helping the town, and we're very fortunate to have him. Based on my discussions with him, he's requested to keep his hourly charge for the town MS4 at $100 an hour, but requested that work under escrow accounts, SWPP compliance, other inspections be increased to $110 an hour, which I believe is
I think he does a
reasonable.
great job. I mean, I saw his presentation about a month or so ago, and definitely worth, you know, up and up again for another year or so, so I make a motion to,
And I'll second that. We have to be MS4 compliant.
Yep.
And Walter has done a phenomenal job keeping us ahead of that curve. So
Absolutely.
I'll second that.
And I think we'll have some more work. I've asked them to get kind of ready for what might be an audit. We haven't had one for a while, going back maybe 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, there was
as I
one which
recall.
he handled
Handled very well.
well.
And so we are fortunate
very
to have one.
fortunate,
So
that's correct.
we have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-24. This is a resolution appointing certified public accountants to provide various accounting services and to audit the accounts and reports of the town supervisor, town clerk, and town justices. This is a continuation of RBT. Basically, they're doing just audit functions, and Frederick is the one that does the basically.
how often do they come in and do the?
It's really just once a year for the
Right.
audit. That's in the fall, and I think it's the fall, and then they
They give
interview
us a
the whole
report.
and give us a report. And they'll come and actually physically give us a report as well, as you get hard copies for it.
Great.
In the past, Linda Hannigan, who had moved from CDOR to RBT, has been consistently providing us with independent audits of different parts of our finances. I have been appreciative of the work they've done, and I'll be happy to move this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-25. This is a resolution designating an insurance agent for the town of Wappinger. This is Marshall and Sterling. They've been doing actually also an exceptional job and have been actually able to reduce rates and keep us out of trouble in the sense of the insurance regulatory world. Also, they've been providing, correct me if I'm wrong, Sandra, a number of training programs and offering a lot of good advice, to us, to get us, keep us in compliance and ahead of the curve. So I strongly recommend also that
I'll
they.
make the motion to
I'll
approve.
second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is our internal, resolutions, and I just want to say, there is, an absence really relating to the attorneys and the engineers, but we'll be having some other discussions and dealing with that in the past, so we'll just deferring that to a later date.
Okay.
The resolution 2020-26 is a resolution reappointing the receiver of taxes. This is a resolution reappointing Leanne Freno to be in that position.
I would like to move that and mention that she seems to be the face of the town. The residents come in and pay their taxes, and we get nothing but great comments from her, so I gladly make that motion.
And I'll second this 2-year term, correct? So how it works?
It's a 4-year.
Four-year
four-year
term.
term?
Four-year.
term.
So, under the, I guess, public officers law, or within this town, we adopted a appointed receiver of taxes at some point along the way. Is that how this happened?
So when the town went from, I had to research this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, town of the second
When
class.
it went from town of second class to town of the first class, the town of the first class has a receiver of taxes. Town of the second class has a tax collector.
Elected.
The difference is that the receiver also collects for school districts.
Right.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Absolutely. and
So, and also collects, it's receiver of taxes and assessments. So they also collect, part of the duties would include water bills and
Yes.
sewer bills as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
second that.
That clarifies it, okay.
And Leanne will be presenting next Monday on her department and activities and some
Good.
of the things going forward. So
Very good.
I've talked with her today, and there's a number of interesting items to present. Actually, I got a preliminary report today. I think she collected $90 million this year.
Yeah.
Most of it's school tax.
Most of it's school tax, yes, but still,
Don't get too
she has to
excited.
handle.
Good point.
But
Real good
But-
I haven't seen Bill smile.
she's the most important person
Yeah.
in the town, because without her, nobody gets paid.
That's right.
And,
Or nobody gets taxed.
anyway, I have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes.
Actually, they get taxed, they just don't have to pay.
Let's not get technical,
Because the
Counselor.
county sends out the bill.
Let's move right along.
Let's not say the T word anymore tonight.
bad word.
Okay. The next item is Resolution 2020-27. This is a resolution appointing a town historian of the town of Wappinger. This is Mr. Joseph Cavassini, and I have here the attached job description, which we had reviewed and passed, for the previous year.
Well, I certainly have no issue. I don't believe there is any conflict at all relative to the duties of town historian. Joey, not to inflate your ego any more than I already have in 2020, but I do consider you here in this town, from a historian perspective, as great value, okay? I know a lot of municipalities that don't have anyone that really cares, and I'm sitting here right now. I had asked him to do a little research on those that have held certain positions in this town since 1875, and of course he gave it to me tonight because I need to vote for his appointment. But that being said, he cares.
No coincidence.
He cares, and his heart is in it. So I would certainly make the motion to reappoint Mr. Cavassini as town historian.
I will second that. I've seen his passion. We walk Carnworth with him, and he's very passionate about a lot of things going on in the town, and certainly he's well-deserving, so I second the motion.
Just for the record, I was happening to be reviewing some things today, and I came across, there's an Attorney General opinion which specifically says that there is no conflict between a person serving as a county legislator and a person serving as a town.
See, we knew that before you said that. That's
Not
why.
that we were researching it or
Yes.
anything.
No,
Don't worry, Joey already told us about it, so we knew the answer before you
Jim,
told
if it
us.
makes sense, generally it's illegal, but in this case, it's not. So.
Okay, we have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. And the next item is Resolution 2020-28. This is a resolution appointing a marriage officer for the town of Wappinger. This is appointing Cheryl Haight, who is the town, court clerk, and receives no salary, but she can accept fees up to $75 based on, what they may want to pay her, but no fees from the town.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-29. This is a resolution appointing a part-time secretary, to the Planning Board and part-time secretary to the Zoning Board of Appeals. This is the same person, B.O. Gunty, who's done an excellent job. And actually, Barbara will be presenting on, future, roles, which hopefully will be improved. Mr. Sheehan, you are more than welcome to sit up here and have a placard. You're an elected official.
Just every few minutes, move up a seat, and then eventually you'll be.
That's not too obvious. You wanna be front.
Okay, so we have this resolution.
I will make the resolution that we reappoint B.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-30. This is a resolution appointing the dog control officer for the town of Wappinger, Jerry Owen, and I'd also like to add that actually he's been doing really a fine job and having to deal with some difficult challenges and throughout the parks of the town, including having to take at least one individual to court. But Jerry has been really dedicating himself. I've seen even a strong further dedication over the last last year really. So I'm pleased with the work, and I think there's other things that we may consider for him going forward. And he's very concerned about animal welfare.
Good. I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next item is Resolution 2020-31. This actually is a resolution acknowledging the appointment of the Deputy Town Supervisor to the Town of Wappinger. This is my appointment, but as a courtesy, I always bring it before, the board as an
Do you
acknowledgement.
need a motion, or are you okay with it? I don't think you need one.
Jim, Moran,
Just acknowledge it.
just
Just
acknowledgement,
acknowledgement.
right?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
The problem is he's got
Mr.
to,
Clerk?
it's got to be, it's going to mess up.
Okay, it screws up,
So,
that's right.
just,
Management, so.
For the purposes of recognizing the supervisor's
Good.
appointment to deputy supervisor, I will move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. Thank you.
I'm
The,
so happy. That's to make
Joe,
you happy.
actually,
He's good.
no, he's good. especially if we approve the next one, which we have to talk about. But Resolution 2020-23, resolution acknowledging the appointment of deputy town clerks. I'm just joking, Joe. Please don't look serious. And
Hold on, you
missed
skipped
32.
the confidential
You
segment.
no,
didn't-
I'll come back to
Change.
that.
We don't need it.
Eric, you need 2032, right?
No, there's
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, I'll save you. I'll move 32.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute,
Secretary, sorry about that.
That seems sort of
She
Freudian
may want to have a
slip.
second thought.
Yeah, maybe so.
I second it.
Sorry.
I already moved it.
It's like when I'm signing the invoices, it's stuck, you know, and I'm not here, you know, I don't have you to, you know, unstuck it, so there's a motion and second?
Good thing we're approving her, because
Yeah.
if you weren't here, who knows what resolution number.
Yeah, I know.
So I move it again.
We'll second it again.
Okay, so moved and second twice, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions, the motion passes.
And just
Thank you.
on a serious note, I just want to say, from the Ward 1 perspective, you know, we're very lucky to have you, Sandra, here. You go above and beyond, honestly. Members that have full-time jobs can't be here during the daytime. Occasionally, I'm coming from Fishkill and I can stop in for a minute. And the amount of work that you do here is greatly appreciated. And the amount of work that you do above and beyond, like your work at the inauguration ceremony.
Absolutely.
When everybody left, Sandra was still there, cleaning up everything and making sure that we are allowed to use the junior high again sometime. But just from us to you, thank you so much for your hard work. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Yes,
Councilman.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the next item is we got approval, right? That was just your comments afterwards.
Yeah, we already voted on
Okay,
it.
I'm just confused.
Don't get
Okay.
nervous, you got it.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to be out of my office tomorrow. You know.
You'll be
Locked out, I'll be locked out.
She's already changed the last, don't worry.
Okay, so Resolution 2020-33, a resolution acknowledging the appointment of deputy town clerks. These appointments are for Grace Robinson as deputy and also for Cooper Leatherwood as deputy.
I'll move it.
Second.
And also, I'd like to say that, you know, they've done an outstanding job, and Cooper, you know, has really also helped, like with inauguration setup and other things beyond, outside of the office, you know, and so I'm very much appreciative of that. So we have a motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion, you know, passes.
If
I'd
it's-
like
if-
to say that Grace has always been extremely pleasant and
Absolutely.
extremely helpful to so many residents that I have heard nothing but favorable feedback. So I think we're very, very lucky to have her.
Unlike Joe
so-
here, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, if Grace or Cooper are at the window at the town clerk's office, there's always a smile.
Yes,
Joe, not so much.
The old curmudgeon there, you know, it's,
but she's a definite asset, so I wanted to say that.
Keep them.
so, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the resolution appointing, Resolution 2020-34.
Right.
This is a resolution appointing a registrar and deputy registrar of vital statistics for the town of Wappinger. And this is where Joe Paoloni is up for the registrar of vital statistics, same resolution as in the past. And also Grace is being, again, proposed to be the position of the deputy registrar.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passes. You know, those are the resolutions that we have before executive session. You know, we do have a discussion concerning, you know, at least two appointments, and, you know, that's concerning the planning board and zoning board chairman, but since we haven't, you know, had any, you know, discussion of who candidates might be, we won't decide that there, but, you know, wanted to just have that. But now, you know, I'd like to have a motion to go in executive session, and the purpose for the executive session is to discuss another hiring issue relating to hiring agreement, and then some legal issues concerning some complaints and ongoing litigations that I want to brief the
I'll
board
make the
on.
motion to go in executive.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed, and we'll break for executive session. And hopefully, Bill, we'll have you out by midnight.
Hey.